everyone, welcome back to Las Vegas. You are listening to the Crazy Sexy Cool podcast, where we give our black ass millennial opinions about the crazy, the sexy, and the cool hot topics. I'm your host Bethany, and I am joined by my co-hosts. We have Meek and we have Elizabeth. What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all?
How y'all? You miss me.
Yo, I'm not sure how election night went for y'all, but just like I said in last week's episode, I turned everything off. I was not privy to anything that was going on. I had a feeling that it was going to be like late, as far as like getting the results in. So I just kind of experienced some self-love, just to kind of get the edge off. You know, a little bit of a.
And for the listeners, can you please elaborate
On what the
Yes,
age
so-
is?
Like,
So
self-love can be a massage of some sort, or
Yeah,
you know,
but
some food.
I can't massage myself. Well,
Nah, you
that's
can,
actually-
but
You can.
you
There's
can.
ways. There's
You
definitely
can.
ways.
Yeah, so I just, because of the stress of the election, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chill in my room. I got a lot done as far as Bikini Honey, but when I just got back into my room, into my comfort zone, took a shower, you know, clean sheets, clean comforter, pillowcases, everything is just nice and warm. It's chilly outside, so, you know, my room is just so comfortable now. It's got the space heater, so shit is just like so comfy in here. So I decided to treat myself, and you know, it's a little self-love masturbation. And it's funny because I don't know why like saying masturbation is just kind of like weird. Like, why is there such a stigma around the word?
Because a white man made it up. I mean, like, he had to. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't really know for sure, but like, it's just so like not sexy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very, in many ways, it can be a very intimate thing, but masturbation. Like, what the fuck is bation, nigga? Like,
We need a new word for it.
Yeah.
I know. Let's make up one.
And people be coming up with weird shit like twaddle the thought, or flick the twat, or like flick the bean. Like, this is
Flick the twat. Get that out of here.
flick the twat. Like,
And what? And for men, it's not sexy either. It's like beat your meat,
beach and
chick,
me. It's
jerk,
just so,
jerk the chicken.
it's so aggressive, right?
Ew.
Yeah, like that sounds like it hurt. Masturbation sound like it hurt.
No, it sounds like a procedure. Like, no, thank you. Like, that's the gynecologist or some shit. No, thanks.
Right.
We need a new word for it. Like, that's why I said self-love. Like, I was taking care of myself.
Yeah, master. I love the master.
You got a toy, Bethany, or was it like your hands?
Nigga, you know I got a toy. It ain't like yours though.
I
Look.
know the fucking Star Trek.
Oh, see,
Come telling
this
me.
is not
Before you're
episode 2. This is not episode 2.
You call that fucking Star Trek?
She got the Star Trek Voyager and shit.
The Voyager comes landing in and shit. Water everywhere. Like, the fuck.
Lit. No, I have a womanizer, but I also have like a vibrating like dildo. But I'm just more of a clitoral stimulation type of girl. I don't need it inside. But Liz, yours does both, right? Like it goes
does,
in
it does
and
both. Yeah. But I usually I don't use always the insert either all the time. I just use the clitoral one sometimes.
Yeah,
like flip it upside down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you turn it the other way. Mm-hmm. You hit that button, girl.
May
Yeah,
I
look.
say, it look like it sucks your fucking soul. Like, like, yo, like it fucking sucks your soul out, bruh.
Jellyfish.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
womanizer is
No.
cool, but
Yeah, but
I like my battery operated old school and better.
yeah, see, but I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had like a lot, because you know, when I first started mastering my bation, you know, like just touching myself, you know what I mean? It was like low key kind of sex. But then I started realizing, like, no, you can like treat it as though you about to get ready to go sit on a dick, you know, like see this new wig, you know what I'm saying? You know, I put it on, like, get in the mirror, turn myself on, like, oh my God, this bitch is nice. You know, like Tweet said, oops.
Oh, so you get all done up before you start masturbating?
I always get all done up, but I turn myself on, like, and I don't always use toys either, because I feel like the more I use toys, I become heavily dependent on them. And also, I don't always, like, sometimes I watch porn and sometimes I don't watch porn, and like, yeah, so you gotta be wary of the porn, because you can fall down a deep rabbit hole, and like you can't take them images out of your head. You know what I mean? And, like, start fucking you up. You know?
What kind of rabbit hole you fall into?
Oh man, like one in particular, like I didn't know, like I found myself, like I came down the rabbit hole, and I found basically hold on, because this reminds me of Boomerang. This reminds me of Boomerang, when he like chicks with dicks, like 1-800 chicks with dicks, and he was like, oh man, what kind of shit you into? But nah, on some real shit, that like where it's like a transgender man who turned into a woman, but he still got his dick, and like he's having sex with a woman. Bruh, my nipples got hard, and I was like, oh,
Meek.
I was like, oh my God, I don't know why I'm right now. Looking at
that's
this.
so funny.
But it is, but a lot of times they dicks are really small, so then that was why I couldn't really. But yeah, I was like, I can't go. It's a rabbit hole. You start getting to age 56.
I don't do rabbit holes.
See, the thing is, I can't get that far because I like to look at the little like GIF preview, like it shows like a few quick seconds of like what the video is all about.
Yeah.
And the moment I see some shit that I know I'm not into, I'm keep scrolling.
But no, but that's what I'm saying. Like I saw it, and then like my nipples are. I was like, bro, like I didn't know I was into it. I didn't know that was something that like would turn me on like that.
But I have a question. What website do you go to?
Pornhub.
Really? I don't use that no more.
What do you use?
I go to X videos.
I know everybody goes to X videos.
X videos dope.
I haven't been on there yet.
X videos.
I'm gonna have to try.
Yeah, I feel like it's more. They have more to offer, and I feel like Pornhub is just more like corporate porn. Like
it is very.
They have a little scenes, a
full on production, and then like it's a lot of like male, male pleasing porn, like, which is kind of like,
Yeah, and also when I am watching, like, I don't want to see a whole production. I don't need great lighting. I don't need a whole bunch of like camera angles. I like being able to tune in where I can tell like a couple was in a moment and they pulled their phone out and shit got lit. Like, that's all I need.
Well, but them OnlyFans and them those Snapchat little snip, I'm like, oh shit, getting real, like, like
shit getting real.
With the corporate porn, that like meaningless like kissing and like the clothes, like, oh, like, okay, just get to the act.
And what the fuck is up with all these different like brother and sister or mom and son? I'm just like, y'all niggas.
I don't like none of that.
And I know it's fake. Like, I know it's fake, but still,
some people get turned on by shit like that.
I think it has to do with authority. I think it has something to do with like being the authoritative figure, like, taking advantage. It's some sick shit.
Sick.
It's me.
That's a little sick.
With that.
Nah. Or like, no, even like, because even in the titles, it's like, daddy come nut in me, like, my stepfather came and saw me masturbating and came and nut inside my ass. Like, nigga, what? Like, what your daddy do? Like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
no, thank you. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really set the mood really for like masturbation. It's just like sometimes a mood just strikes me. Usually when I'm really stressed, my body is like begging, like, look, girl, we gotta do something.
We gotta
we gotta release this.
You gotta get it out.
True.
No, but even like how you were saying with the election, like with the whole election, you could like feel like the energy and the and how tense it was getting in. And like I just did a whole cleansing, and that included, you know, with my vajayjay. Like I did, like I came in, saged everything. I cleaned my carpet. You know, I gave myself
Which
a personal
carpet?
massage.
No, I'm joking.
Well, first off, it's more like wood panel flooring, okay, not carpet, but
okay.
it's shiny, okay. But yeah, like, you know, you have to release everything, let all that shit out, Yeah, definitely necessary.
What did y'all do for election night?
I watched the election.
You did?
I did.
And
it was very
like in and out.
And it was very interesting, like social media, the media, you know what I mean? Like how people, it's definitely like the election is very, very, very important, but like the way people get involved, I think is hilarious and in many ways unhealthy, you know.
What do you mean? Like they're just too into it?
Because like it's like watching our election was like watching a reality TV show, like Love and Politics, looking at us. like that's what it was like. Like it was like, you know, it's like the drama was just like so high, and like it's cool for people to have their political views, but just how, I don't know how to say this because
invested,
but it's like personally, like, because it is personal, like it does affect us directly, but it's still a cutoff line. There's still a cutoff line where it's like, you know what I mean, where people and it's like, people didn't see that, or people weren't, I don't know. But even with mainstream though, like you turned on MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, you were getting reported 3 different fucking situations. I'm like, how is that even possible? How is that even?
It was a lot. So I didn't turn my phone on until Wednesday, probably like 3 or 4 o'clock. And the only reason I did was because while I was home and getting shit together, I broke a nail. So I'm like, fuck, let me go fix my nail real quick. And the nail salon, every single TV had Fox News. So I'm like, all right, so I guess I got to go ahead and see what's going on. I'm like, okay, they haven't figured out, you know, they're still counting votes. And then I see that Nevada is like everyone's like waiting on Nevada to finish counting the ballots. And look, the amount of text and memes and shit that was sent to my phone. No, I was just going to say that.
Hilarious. So I didn't want to watch it, but it was
I'm glad that I was able to, like, once I turned my phone on and I'm like sitting there getting my nail fixed and shit, and I'm just scrolling through Instagram and Twitter, yo, I was just so happy to be able to see all of these memes. Just like, it was a great day for funny ass memes happening. Yeah. But because I can imagine like watching everything in real time, and then as the memes are happening like in real time, the shit was just incredible.
Yeah, funny as shit.
Yeah. But like, it was just so good just to be caught up that way, instead of like how it was in 2016. I turned my phone on, it's like doomsday, goddamn. That shit was dramatic, but I could feel like hope in the air. It felt good. I was like, okay, because Fox News, you know, in a nail salon, they were playing Fox News, and I never watched Fox News. But I see like
Fox News,
just to see their defeated attitude, I was like, oh, this tastes so good.
So the energy felt good to you. The energy.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I had a pep in my step.
Okay. I watch all 3 news, because you gotta, like, you just can't sit and just watch CNN all day, like, because they're biased as well. So I listen to everybody's news.
Look, I have CNN blocked on Twitter. I can't, like, they be posting whack ass headlines. I'm like, look, you could have wrote this a whole lot differently, because I'm not sure what kind of narrative you're trying to sell right now.
Exactly.
But no. But yeah, I went between, when I was able to get to my own TV, I was able to, you know, go through and see what was going on. And then of course, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook on they shit. It was just so good.
But I really want to know what the fuck took Nevada, like what took us so long? Like,
bro, what's taking
like they did
us
that
so
on
long?
purpose.
Still.
I didn't know that was that many people in Las Vegas. Because it's just like, you're talking about Las Vegas, my nigga. Like, you ain't talking about nowhere else.
Yeah. Well, same with Philly, same with Atlanta. Shout out.
Yeah.
Look, shout out to Pennsylvania for, turning blue. Shout out to Georgia for turning blue. Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all thought was going on, but people are sick of the shits, okay? And
Yeah,
we
you
showed up
know
in
what's
record numbers.
well now you know that there's like another another narrative that's like trying to go about where they're comparing this election to the Bush versus Gore
Yeah.
election, and basically saying like, don't be so quick to celebrate because like technically we have until December 14th to truly declare like who our president is.
Right.
I've been keeping up on that, and I mean right now the numbers are sitting 290 to 214, but yeah, if that,
Yeah.
I don't see that.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But if it does, you want to talk about a fucking shit show? Like, yeah, it's gonna be wild in these streets, like for sure,
Yeah, it's
for
just
sure.
gonna turn up. I
Yeah.
I haven't celebrated. I'm not like I'm happy and I can feel like it's different. Things feel different. However, with me like not drinking, it's almost been a month that I haven't had anything to drink.
Almost
And
been a month. Are we saying
no,
2 weeks?
it's been 2.5 weeks. It's been two and a half
Okay.
weeks. I had to think for a second. It's been over a month that I haven't had caffeine, and
Okay.
Because
it's
I'm
been
keeping
two and a half
track.
weeks.
I'm keeping track. 'Cause we
And
Mama Meek over there, making sure you
November.
ain't getting away with nothing.
no, before we even talk about that, are you guys like? What do you think about people participating in No Nut November?
I'm
No
not
Nut
participating.
November.
I think it's healthy because I think you do need to like that's what I'm saying when we're talking about masturbation. It's like masturbation can also be served as an exercise. I do it on both ends where like I allow myself to pleasure myself, but I also withheld myself from sex as well because it's a thing of like being able to practice the control to where like I'm not always when my body starts to act a certain way, I'm not always tempted to like, oh, I need to go do this right now. So No Nut November, especially how some of these niggas be out here acting like they just can't control their damn penis. Yeah, that would be interesting to see who the fuck can survive that. I feel like they should get into a show.
But sometimes I feel like with the year that we've been having, I don't know if that's a good thing to really ask of some people because of how stressful it is and the benefits of masturbation can be really great for your
And they
mind, body, and soul.
No, absolutely. But there's also other forms where you can like exert that energy. So it's also about being able to explore your body and your mind
Okay.
and your sexuality to see
So what
else
other
can
ways?
you have the gym, you have meditation, you
But we're
have
thinking about people in the middle of a pandemic. So there's a lot of social things that you can't do that would have replaced like
physical activity that you can exert energy. You can go out for a run. That doesn't include you sharing a barbell with anybody. You can
that
do
sounds very
meditation.
sexy.
No, it does, and it actually does. Shit, try to do it butt ass naked. Take it to a whole nother level.
You know
I don't
it.
know. But look, like you could do meditation. Meditation is very good for the soul, the spirit, and the mind. You can I'm just saying it's all I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to say like, everyone needs to do it and try to make it and get to the end of November. It's nothing wrong with challenging yourself. And that's where growth comes from. If we always succumb like allow ourselves to be enslaved by our body, like we're never going to like be the leader of our temple. That's just how I see it. So
And that was a word from woke Meek.
Yeah.
Our spiritual healer.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you only make it to 2 weeks, hey, that's 2 weeks that you didn't do last week. It's all, you know what I mean? Just a challenge.
Are you going to be doing it?
No Nut November? Shit. Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
Okay. I will not be participating in No Nut November. It's my birthday this month, and just not gonna do it.
Well, technically, I did have a nut on election day, So, but I have to carry it to the first week of December. But yeah, like
after that, that's it.
And it'll be over right in time for your birthday.
I hate that type of sex.
You know what? We're gonna check back in and see how you're doing with a no nut 30 days.
November. It's
I mean,
like when I
are
tell
you participating, Bethany?
Oh, no, she can't because she going dry and no nut. You gotta pick one. Like when people be like, "Oh, I'm fasting, I'm not drinking, I'm not having sex," like you fucking yourself over. You gotta pick one. You can't don't do it at the same time.
Pick a struggle.
Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
You say you hate that kind of sex? What do you mean, Meek?
I do. Like you know, I like the shit that turns me on is like the spontaneous shit. You know, take my ass down in the elevator. Like that's my.
I mean, what makes you think that on your birthday that won't happen? I mean,
no, because it goes into like, oh, on my birthday I'm going to have sex. Like no, like I don't like planned out. I don't like.
I don't know. I don't really plan it all like that because some birthdays I'll be on my period, so I don't always be like, oh, on my birthday I'm gonna have sex.
But that's what she said. She said like you said it comes just in time for your birthday. Like I might not fuck on my birthday just because, you know, like if we end up doing it, cool. But like,
well, wait a minute.
Like,
she is a very interesting lady.
No, I have a question. So you don't have. If you want to have sex and you're on your period, you don't have sex, Liz? Do you have sex on your period?
I mean, I have, but like, I don't choose to. If I'm on my period.
You don't choose to?
I mean, because sometimes the dick appointment might come out of nowhere, and then I'm like, oh shit, and then like, I don't know, like especially the beginning of it, like I don't want to. I feel heavy. I feel like I don't want to be touched. It's just not something I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to have sex and I'm on my period. No, if it just happens, then.
But maybe if it's a guy that you are comfortable with, like not somebody like you just met, but if he wants to and you're down, like
run the red light, shorty.
Oh, yeah, I've done it before, but I just don't have plans to when I start my period.
You prefer not to?
Yeah, it just feels.
So, just like sex and masturbation, like it releases hormones that help you feel better. So sometimes it can be like a pain relief well, that's if you have an orgasm, because a lot of women aren't having orgasms.
Yeah. I feel sorry for those women.
Who don't.
Can we have a moment of silence for those women that are not having orgasms?
Why?
And you ruined the silence.
Why though? Why are we giving them any?
Like, I feel bad for them.
No, there are a lot of women who have, these mental blocks that they just literally cannot relax enough to experience. And
also you got women out here that just keep riding funky ass dick. Like, bruh, ride dick that pleases you. Okay, my sisters.
Yeah. Stop letting them. Stop
riding the dick. Right. Stop as a cum suck. Yes. Like, ride the dick because you want to ride the dick, not because don't ride the dick for him. Ride the dick for you.
For you, honey.
Wow.
Amen.
You don't think about your vagina. Who will, sister? Shit. Vaginas matter. God. Vaginal orgasms matter. Okay.
And this is why masturbation is so important. This is why you need to get to know your body. You know it works. You know how you like to be pleased. Just like I said earlier, clitoral stimulation is my shit. So a lot of guys will completely ignore your clit like it doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah.
And so when you know what works for you, you know how to take it to the bedroom and use it on your guy. And if he decides that he's not going to give you what you need, then he can go. He's next.
I mean, and also a little tip for the fellas out there. The clit is there strictly for pleasure purpose. Like that's the only reason why. It is filled with a whole bunch of fucking nerves or whatever. It's just a bunch
endings.
of nerves. Yes, and that's all it's there for. So like it's for sexual pleasure. Like get used to it. Introduce yourself to it. Get familiar. Become best friends. It's going to
become
be your
best friends.
Yes. Your clit, the clit has a first name.
Say her name.
Say her name. Yes. No, for sure.
Well, speaking of say her name, look, Black women have been out here showing out. We have, projected to have a Black female vice president. Kamala Harris. This is, I have a lot of family back in North Carolina who are just elated, like elated. They're just so happy to see something like this happen. It's really a historical moment. And the amount of friends that I have that have daughters, they're just so excited to show them, like, look, we have someone who looks like us in a position of power. And I think it's just so beautiful. So shout out to Kamala. Oh God. I know, look, all the AKAs, all my friends that are AKAs, they are super turned. They ski win all over the place.
Girl, put your mirrors up. Put the mirrors up, honey.
It's beautiful. And, I went to a HBCU. I went to North Carolina A&T. And just seeing, I just know, like, there's sometimes a stigma when it comes to attending an HBCU, graduating from HBCU, that people just act like HBCUs aren't like good enough. They don't, they don't prepare us for the real world. This is what I've read, and it's ridiculous. Like, come on, we have a very unique experience that absolutely provides with the certain amount of preparation for the real world. Like, we're surrounded by people who look like us, who come from, similar backgrounds, but we are also introduced to so many people from all over the world who come from different backgrounds and different countries and different cultural experiences, that we become, because we are exposed to this, we are able to get along with any and everybody. And I feel like sometimes my friends that have gone to private schools, or the, PWIs, as some like to call them, but they sometimes say that they envy the HBCU experience because the Black community on those campuses are so small.
Small. Yeah.
Yeah.
I myself went to a PWI, and it's crazy because I actually was supposed to go to Prairie View. And so, like, my mama went to Southern, my mama went to Grambling, my daddy went to Southern, and then I was actually looking into going to Prairie View. And I was like, why surround? I was very ignorant. I'm not afraid to admit that. I was very ignorant. I was like, why like surround myself with just Black people when that doesn't represent the world, right? And I was so very wrong. Cause I was thinking like, well, I'm getting like a true worldly experience going to a PWI, like where it's just like where the Black population is so small and so on. But like, there's this like level of certainty and confidence that people from HBCUs graduate with, and I think it comes from the not acceptance, but unity that is felt like during your journey while you're at a HBCU. So yeah, I am one of those people that like I definitely should have went to one. Like I think I would have like really done very well there.
Yeah, I think you would have too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Your life would be really different. It would be really different.
Yeah.
It's a sense of community. I really feel like when I travel, it's always like, yo, like, oh, I see you're in New Orleans, or I see you're in Atlanta. Make sure you hit up this person. They went to A&T too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a community everywhere you go. Even if they didn't go to the same school, if they went to Howard or FAMU or whatever, we still have a similar experience. So when we go out to the clubs, it's just a different vibe, it's a different feel. We, link up for networking purposes. It's just really dope. But yeah, I'm really happy to see, Black women celebrating right now, because Kamala, represents something. They see themselves in her, and I just think that's really dope. Representation also matters.
Big shout out to Kamala and also Stacy and along with Keisha. Like we have FAMU, Spelman, and Howard in the motherfucking building. Like they did not have to conform themselves and go to these because that was the image that was projected, is that in order to play like at this level of politics, you had to be a graduate from like Yale or Harvard,
Ivy League, yeah,
Ivy League of some sort. And it's like, nah, nigga, no, you don't, So like, I think Black women definitely showed up and showed out. And the thing that I do like is that even while they're gaining the momentum, I don't feel like they're going to stop. Because I do think that's a concern where it's like, yes, this is a win for us, but this is only a battle. We have a whole war that we want to win. So, and I think, and that's where I say I'm just hoping for the best. As y'all all know, I'm not a big. I'm gonna fuck her name up. The vice Kamala. I'm not.
Kamala
and it's not even that I'm not a big fan of hers. It's just like when it comes to us, I hold us at a different standard. So it's like, look, yeah, you have this background or some sort, and you're going for this position. Best believe I'm going to hold you to a certain standard. I'm not going to just roll a red carpet out for you because you're Black. Like I'm not, because at the end of the day, she not only represents Black people, she represents Black women. And I know she understands that. I know she understands the struggle of that. But I just, that's just like the energy that I want to address the situation. But anywho, yeah. I'm still proud of the moment. I'm still understanding of the moment that took place and proud of the moment. And I feel like, you're still going to have your naysayers. You're still going to have people that's going to say some negative shit or come up with some dumbass, conspiracy theory, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it's still fucking history. And that's something that they can't take away. So
yeah. And real quick, I want to shout out Stacey Abrams because she really helped to combat voter suppression in Georgia, helping to get over 800,000 new voters registered to vote and to make an impact in Georgia. And that is incredible. I read that she helped to raise $3.6 million in 2 days for crucial Georgia state runoffs, because it's not over for Georgia. They still have a whole lot to do. More. And Stacey is out there doing the work. She's not out here just being a figurehead and just talking and doing appearances. She's out here doing the work, and we love to see it. And it's always a Black woman that's really putting in the fucking work.
And that's what I was about to say, is that this practice has been ongoing. It's just beautiful to see that these women are getting the notoriety that on such a national, honestly, international platform that they truly deserve. Because a majority of the time, it's the Black women that's in there putting forth the work and making shit happen, but you don't really see their names on the credits. Also shout out to the Black woman who basically we see their voting percentage at a 90 percentile when it comes down to Joe Biden. When you want to talk about Black women showing up and showing the fuck out, they showed up within their numbers, in multiple states. I'm talking about 90 percentile. Can't say the same thing for Black men, but that's another whole situation. But
that's a whole nother story, child. That's wild. But it's funny because we're still waiting on all of the numbers and all the everything to come in. But last presidential election, was it 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump? They're projecting for that number to be higher for Donald Trump and white women for this election. Yeah. And I'm just how are you guys?
I'm not surprised.
Seeing the same thing?
But I'm
not surprised either. But it's just bro, why do you continuously vote against your own best interests? How?
Right, but you also have to understand, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people get caught up in, is the narratives that are being sold. You know what I'm saying? Some people view this Trump and Biden as though you're saying if you vote for Biden, then you're against military, you're against police officers, you're against, and some people, have loved ones in the military as to why they're voting for, and I've had this conversation with women, where I'm hearing their thoughts about voting for Trump. And that's how they view it. The same way how Black people is like, if you vote for Trump, then you're going with the racists and you're against the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So it's like, it's just how people categorize these beliefs into these politicians, you know, when in actuality, like, we could come together and like there's a middle ground. There's truly a middle ground when not with the politicians, but I'm saying when it comes to like dealing with police reform and dealing with, you know, Black Lives Matter and so on and all those type of situations, there is a middle ground, but that's not the narrative that's being sold by mainstream media. It's like, it's either you're either with them or you're with
either us. Or, right?
Yes. And that's what's keeping our country divided, and people are not, because everyone's so tuned in to social media and mainstream media, like they're not able to step back and be like, all right, look, like, and look at the whole agenda and the whole legislature and the whole, like, everything as a collective, instead of being like, oh, well, you know, I think the police should get, you know, some support. I'm just going to go with Trump. And it's like, yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yo, so all of this has been really stressful. I'm just so glad that it is. We've done our part and it's over for, like, you know, for the election night, as far, you know, all the drama surrounding that. We're still waiting on everything to come in, so everything will be official. I believe, you know, Trump is not, he hasn't conceded. He's still, you know, fighting this. And 1 minute people are saying, you know, stop counting the votes. Some people are saying keep counting the votes. Just like, bruh,
yeah,
let's get these votes counted so we know what's really tea. And if you want to fight it, good luck, nigga.
But what I will say though is y'all need to keep an eye out on that motherfucker Mitch McConnell. Like, I don't understand how he's back in office, but we need to like, that's another one that needs to like get ejected the fuck out. Yes, I said it. So like yes, we've done our
next.
Like yes,
and that's what and that's what Stacey Abrams is really, she's trying to help, you know, swing the Senate.
Like, and like we gotta keep the same. Like Nip said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and you gotta keep the same energy and stay on these motherfuckers' necks. Like, and that includes President Biden and Vice President Harris as well, because they assume those positions. Yeah. We have to make sure we stay on their necks and make sure that they deliver on what they say that they're gonna deliver, and that also includes every single fucking seat in the Congress as well. So it ain't over. You can drink some Gatorade, take a deep breath. Let's get back in there. Like,
right. All right, y'all. We're going to move on to our red light special. If you guys have a question for the ladies of the Crazy Sexy Cool podcast, shoot us a DM at CrazySexyCoolPod on Twitter and Instagram, or send us an email at CrazySexyCoolPod@gmail.com, and we just may answer your question on our show. So I got a little DM today, and I thought it was, you know, right on time. He says, "Hi, Bethany. My name is Jeff, and I'm a big fan of your pod. After listening to last week, I had a question for you girls. If two single parents with different parenting styles, especially when it comes to discipline, if they get together and become a family, how do they decide or compromise on discipline, among other things? I imagine a scenario where one parent is more of a, I spank my kids, and the other parent is, I talk it through with my kids rather than spank. I'm not sure what you call those two parenting styles, but it makes me wonder how couples compromise on it. If it doesn't make sense, then never mind. Big fan of you guys, and I'm learning great things from y'all." So thank you for listening, and thank you for your question.
Before we start, the two styles, can we label that real quick? Can we say physical parenting and cognitive parenting? So basically, like, and so that we don't have to use those long ass kids, and I talk everything out.
Right. Well, this is, you know, I think so. Me and my child's father were in a relationship for a long time before we had our son. And so I got a chance to see like what his parenting style was because he already had a child. So I liked how he was a disciplinarian. I liked that he didn't have to spank. He was pretty militant with his, like he would have his oldest son do wall sits. You know how you sit with your back against the wall and you squat and you have your arms out, instead of like, you know, spanking him or, you know, cussing him out, because you got some people who are verbally, you know, they like to do things verbally as well. But I like the way that he disciplined his child. Also, the way that he was disciplined, his dad was the same way. So his dad was very like, oh, if, you know, you fuck up, then I'm not going to beat you, but you going to pay. You going to feel it physically.
Military style.
Yeah, it was really military style. And I appreciated that. However, when our son was born, he turned into a fucking marshmallow. He was the softest motherfucker. I'm just like, what happened? Like, where did this? I thought you was really gonna like turn up when it came to discipline, and I end up being the bad guy. So every time it was time to, you know, discipline our son, I had to be the one to take the lead. And, you know, I didn't spank, but having to go through the whole talking and, you know, what did you call it, Meek? It's cognitive?
I'm gonna say, because it's like more mental, right? It's more like mental stimulating,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
like
so
I'm
cognitive,
communicating.
like communicating, yeah, like communicating,
verbally. Yeah.
healthy communicating, yeah.
So I don't know how you guys like approach it when, like, if you're dating someone, because I'm not sure like how it was before you became parents. Like, did you know how they would, you know, did you guys even have a conversation about parenting and your parenting styles and what you wanted to do? Look, Meek, you over there like
She's steaming. Go ahead,
no, look, I tried to escape my situation and he trapped me, y'all. Like, no, I'm kidding. But no,
Look,
like we weren't together like that.
No, I know.
We weren't together like that, and he didn't have no kids. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't even meet, like, you know, a person's family says a lot about that person, you know, like in so many ways. So I didn't even really meet his fam until after Elijah. But the thing I was concerned about, because I wasn't really concerned about him, I was more concerned about myself. You know, I came from a verbally abusive, physically abusive, militant, you know, type of family where like my mom was like on the verbal and physical abusive side, and then my stepdad was that dad. Like, I remember one time a punishment was my dad made me build a deck in the middle of summer. Like, that was a punishment. Or like he made me move like boulder rocks like in the middle of summer. And I remember having to clean tile floors with the toothbrush, like, you know, like
so
stuff
in
like
those situations, what did you do wrong to, I guess, get that punishment?
It like, you know, like me and my sister, we didn't like each other. So I remember one time, like, she got on my nerves and I dragged her down some stairs.
You know what?
Listen. This is where it gets real toxic. He wasn't mad that I dragged her down the stairs. He was mad that we was loud. Because we woke him up. He worked graveyard, and so he was just upset that like we were making all this commotion. He didn't give about what the damn commotion was.
Right.
And so he said, you know what, y'all don't make all this noise. He's like, get dressed. And like he took us to this like park and like made us do hills. Like, I can't.
He made her do it too.
Absolutely.
After she got drugged down the stairs.
Absolutely. But I mean, we were going back and forth.
Get it.
Yeah. And then I remember one time he went to like cook and he found a dried up noodle, like, you know, like chopping a dried up noodle in a pot. And he was so upset that he pulled every single pot out of the kitchen and every single dish out of the kitchen and was like, come clean these dishes. Like, I'm tired of y'all half-ass cleaning dishes. Come clean these dishes. Yeah. So
and that affected your parenting style?
And like I was afraid, like, because at the end of the day, like that's all I know. Like I never had a friend. Like, especially in my family. What? I come from a line of iron-fisted women that's like, I'll slap the shit out of you first, ask questions later. Like, that's what I come from. So, like, you never see, like, how you supposed to talk to children, how you know, to where they can, like, properly digest things and stuff like that. I actually was so concerned about it within myself that like that year I enrolled into a child behavioral class at UNLV, so that way I can like actually understand like the child's brain, you know, and like how. But yeah, in the beginning, because what happens with children is you're going to find yourself in a state where your kids get on your last motherfucking nerves.
That where was me today.
Yo, where
damn,
like,
dog.
You like, yo, like, you know, and then you find yourself with all this like energy and all this emotion. And if you don't have the proper module to follow, you're going to go with what your default setting is, which is whoop some ass. So, you know, like, just being honest. And I remember a time Elijah was having a fit and he took me there and I whooped his ass. And when I tell you the fear, my baby got big ass eyes, right? But the fear that was in his eyes pierced through my heart. The part, I went in my room and I cried because I identified myself in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to cry right now, like just thinking about it. And I was like, after that moment, I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again. You know, like I'm never like, granted, like Elijah used to get like taps on the leg, but when I tell you it's a tap, that's literally what it was. But then when I removed the physicality part from it, it challenged me to like, I had to force myself to be like, okay, well, that means you have to use your words. You know, I found myself parenting myself like, no, you have to use your words. Like, you have to like describe and you have to like explain and so on and so on. And then there was a moment where I realized I earned the respect from my child. Because that's another thing. Yeah. Parents think that just because you gave birth or that they father that respect is just automatically given. No, your child is a human being. You have to earn their respect. Like, you have to. And I learned that when like Elijah was more like touched by, or like more affected by how he made me feel than the physical element.
Yes.
Like, like where like it was one time, this is like before that dramatic one, where like I whooped him and he looked at me and he was like, that doesn't hurt. And I was like,
yeah, it scared the shit out of you, didn't it?
What the fuck am I going to do now? But then when I start using, when I start, you know, talking and start like implementing that, you know, that element of it, I would just be like, look, baby, like, I understand that, but like, I'm very disappointed in you. And, you know, and my feelings will be very, like, will be real. Like, I'm like, no, I'm disappointed in you. Like, you could be doing better. I expect more from you. And then he comes to me and you could tell like it's on his brain. And then like he breaks down, he start crying and he's like, Mom, I'm so like that is the meat of it. You know, that's the part where it's like, you can work with that. You can like guide a good balanced citizen with, you know what I mean, with that. Whooping and physicality. At the end of the day, my baby daddy is like damn near 7 feet tall. It's gonna be a point where I'm not gonna be able to put hands on Elijah anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like that shit. It's a short leash on that. Like,
yeah. So when you're dating someone, do you kind of like, do you ask them about like their childhood and how they were parented?
Absolutely.
Instead of saying like, well, how do you plan on parenting your kids?
No, like, because you don't know until you become a parent.
And that's the whole point. It's like, you really have no idea until you're like a parent. Just like when, and also I feel like some men kind of take out their frustrations with their baby mama or whoever, their ex, and they take it out on the child.
Yep.
And then that's when I feel like they have to sit back and be like, am I doing this because like, you know, my kid is in trouble, or am I doing this to satisfy myself because I'm angry? And you're whooping that kid and you're letting out your negative energy on your child, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool at all.
I feel like sometimes with parents, like they put these like unobtainable standards on their kids. It's like when you sit back and put yourself in their shoes, it's like, how many times have you said, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym, and your ass don't go to the gym? How many times have you said like, you know what, I'm gonna try to wash dishes every night before I go to sleep, and you don't do it? Like,
Mhm.
you don't, like, there's no room for error, you know, and if there's no room for error, there's no room for growth.
Yeah.
So,
And like me, I always say you got to give, your kids grace. You got to give yourself grace and just understand the situation. Like right now, Prince has been on punishment since fucking September, dog. I am tired. And real quick, when your child is on punishment, so are you. Because you have to, like
oh
my
yeah,
son,
yeah,
he doesn't have TV right now. He doesn't have his tablet. He has, like his room is books and he has like a keyboard and shit. He is in my face all day and I have run out of busy work to give him. So it's like I lose my freedom when my son is on punishment. But
I
anyway,
mean, but to that though, like, if he run out of busy work, you need to go in that room and you need to go figure it out. Like,
and
at
that's
the
what
end of
he's
the
been
day,
doing.
yeah, and at the
Yes.
end of the day, once you, like, just because your world has come to a halt doesn't mean that everybody else's world comes to a halt. Like, this is what you're
Yeah.
missing out on because you want to make bad decisions, or you know what I mean, you want to go different ways.
I'm
So
like, look, I have bought you everything solar system related for all of these years. You better go in that room and figure it out. You got
yeah,
hella books, you have hella toys, you have everything that you need in this house to keep you entertained that's not electronic. So
yeah,
go have fun and get out my face.
Mhm. Yep.
but
but
Goodbye.
but
you
to the
will have
question,
some guys who are just like, oh, just give him his tablet back. It's
oh,
you there has to be some sort of communication. You have to be on the same page when it comes to discipline and parenting. Like, but it's a very important conversation to have. But at the same time, you just don't know until you become a parent.
Parent.
that part. But also, I will say, I am surprised that that's not people's hard nose, because I think what's important is, like, okay, even if y'all come in with different parenting styles, it's just the willingness to, like, compromise, or to, like, develop a whole new parenting style, because you do have some of the people like, I don't care, I don't give a fuck, like, the little kid coming in over here, I'm whooping it. Like, no, now that's
No.
toxic.
That's a hard no.
That's a hard no for me. Like, that's a definite hard
You
no,
might as
because
well
like,
walk out the door.
absolutely. But you have situations where it's like, oh wait, I thought this, but then I saw how you do that. And I see that it works. You know what? Maybe we could, compromise and blah 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 blah. It's all about the person, your partner's willingness to actually come together and formulate something, best for both of your both children, because it's like both parents, right?
Yeah, both
Yeah.
single parents.
Both
And
single
they,
parents. Now, I will say this though, like, if I meet a dude and I see him going ham on his child, that's a red flag for me, and it's
Mhm.
also
Yes.
a trigger for me. I
Mhm.
might say something to see how he reacts to it, and I won't say it in front of the child. I'll pull him to the side, just like, yo, did you have to say it like that, or did you did
Hmm.
you have to do that? And if he comes off defensive and did it, like, yeah, that might be end up being a
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Because I know, Liz, you really don't even like, you're not really dating to, like,
Yeah.
how
I mean,
how we
even
said last week, we're not even like, we're not looking for stepdads. But at
right.
the same time, you have to, if someone is going to eventually be around your child,
Mhm.
there's a certain conversation that you have to have, I guess. So what's your point of view, Elizabeth?
Um, we definitely have to talk because, I guess for me, because I will, I've dated people who, like, obviously I'm a single parent, but that person is not yet a parent, and
Mhm.
like I said, it take a while for anybody to meet my kid. Like, it has to be years of us dating even before you even meet my kid.
Years.
You
Ooh,
won't, you
child.
won't, yeah, years. You won't, there won't be no FaceTime calls. I don't care about no birthday. You can say happy birthday and stuff, but you won't be like in my kid's life. I won't like, I'm, I'm gonna talk about my kid, but like, I'm not gonna like include you into like my kid's life. That's just not how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, we definitely have to have that conversation, and I honestly have to see where your head is. You know,
Well, what do you think about men who, like, they see how hard that you go for your child and they want to make things easier, as far as like, there are some guys who like, you know what, I'll pay for a babysitter, or I'll do XYZ, or I can pick them up from school if you're not available to do so. Like, what do you think about stuff like that? Just to kind of make your life easier, because there are some men who just want you to
I can do it on my own. That ain't gonna. Like, I'm okay with doing anything that has to do with my kid. Like, you taking weight off that, not so much. You don't even have to worry about that. That's my baby.
I think it also boils down to intent, because you got men that'll use that as bait. I've had men like, oh, I can get you some diapers, some formula, and it's like, no, you know what I mean?
That's a turn off.
But I will say, when you say like years, I used to be the one that like to say that, but I guess my concern is that, you know, like, say if I'm like dating a guy and like we're dating, like we're, you know, in the midst of like going toward being serious, I'm concerned that like if I bring him in, like say we start really getting serious, and then I finally like, oh, I want to bring E around, and then like E ain't fucking with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a concern of mine, because now now we've gone through all this, you know, of, oh, we're together, and then I'm like, okay, cool, now I can bring my baby around, and my baby's like, yeah, I'm not fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to, like, I won't bring them around like, oh, like we're together, but like I have once, you know, brought my son around just on some like, you know, let's just go to the park or some like, you know, chill shit to see how my son functions with this person. Because if my son not fucking with you, first off, he's 6 years old. Second, you know what I mean? Like, if he just straight don't fuck with you, yeah, there's something ain't right. Now, if he's a bit coyish, or if he's a bit like standoffish in the beginning, but then he warms up to you, then that's completely different. But if my son is like sensing something that maybe I can't see, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut you the fuck off.
I mean, I get that part. Like, I mean, I'm the same. I feel like if my kid is not rocking with you, whenever that chance comes, then like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut you off. But I just feel like for me growing up and then being around my mom with so many different dudes, I'm just not okay with just letting my baby meet all these different men. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no guarantee that I'm gonna end up with that person. Like, we could be dating for years and still nothing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you say like dating, like now, if you're talking about a situationship, no, none of them niggas is fuck. Like, any nigga I'm fucking is, you know, you're not seeing my son. But if it's someone that I'm actually considering like going into the realm of like we are exclusive to each other, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
then you can like slowly bring them around.
I want to bring him in a little bit sooner than like, because I would hate to be dating someone for 4 years, 5 years. And then finally bring Elijah around, and Eli. I mean,
at least 2. At least 2 years.
I guess. I mean, you know, y'all could take it slow. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, if we're doing 2 years, we're not serious. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not your girlfriend. Like, if it's like a thing of like us getting to know each other, but if like I will not go into a serious relationship without my son meeting. I guess that's what I'm saying. I will not commit myself to a man without my son meeting the man first to see how he rocks, you know, with the guy.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap up today's show. I hope that answers your question, Jeff. So let us know what you think. But before we go, Meek, do you have a quote this week?
Yeah, I do.
Oh shit! Clapped it up. Hey, we got close. We on a winning streak.
It's from Stacey Abrams. Like most who are underestimated, I have learned to overperform. Oh no, that's not the right one. But that was from.
It was sounding good.
Rewind.
Yeah. No, this one is from her as well. We must cease being participants in our own oppression, and that was something that like struck a chord with me. So yeah, cool beans.
Yeah, she said that. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Music, wherever you guys listen to podcasts. We appreciate it. Leave comments, interact with us. Let us know how we're doing and what you like, what you don't like. You know, we might take some tips and pointers. We'll see. Either way, we'll be back next week. New episodes every Monday. And we'll see you next week, guys. Holla.
Peace.
Stay hydrated.